Let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. It's everywhere, right? And honestly, it can feel pretty overwhelming. But what if I told you that the key to really getting it and even using it well is actually a lot simpler than you think? We're going to cut through all the hype, all the scary headlines, and figure out what AI really is so you can stop worrying about it and, actually start making it work for you.
I mean, how many times have you been scrolling online and seen a headline just like this one? It's totally designed to be scary, to make you feel like this giant, complicated thing is some kind of threat. And look, that anxiety is completely understandable when that's all you hear. But what if we just took a moment, stepped back from all that noise? I think once you understand the absolute basics of what AI is, a lot of that fear and confusion just starts to melt away, and it gets replaced by a real sense of possibility. All right, so let's do exactly that. We're going to start with a super simple, foundational explanation. No crazy jargon, no scary hype, just the core idea of what we're all actually talking about here. And here it is. At its very, very heart, AI is simply a computer system that's trying to do a task that a human normally would. That's it. It's a really broad definition, but that's kind of the point. It's a tool. And just like any other tool, its power really comes from how you decide to use it.
And here's the thing, you are already surrounded by it, probably way more than you even realize. Sure, it can be something super advanced and futuristic, like a self-driving car, but it's also the robot vacuum that's bumping around your living room, right? It's using sensors to do the very human job of spotting a table leg. It's the spam filter in your email, which has learned to recognize patterns in junk mail, doing the human job of sorting your messages. If a computer is making a choice or doing a task a person usually does, yep, that's AI.
Now, the AI we've been talking about so far, the vacuums, the filters, it's mostly designed to analyze something or perform a specific task. But lately, the conversation has just exploded because of a very different kind of AI. This is the one that's got everybody's attention, generative AI.
So, what's the big deal with generative AI? Well, it's all right there in the name. It generates things. It makes new stuff. While your spam filter just sorts emails into good or bad, generative AI can write a brand new email totally from scratch. It can create something that didn't exist a second ago, an image, a poem, a line of code, you name it. That's the huge leap.
So how on earth does it do that? Well, you can kind of break it down into 3 steps. First, the AI just studies a mind-boggling amount of information. Think of it like it's reading the entire internet, plus every book ever digitized. Then, from all of that data, it starts to learn patterns and connections. It figures out through pure statistics that the word zebra is very, very likely to show up near words like stripes, horse, and savanna, and almost never next to words like Antarctica or keyboard. Finally, it uses those billions of patterns it learned to generate something totally new. It's not copying and pasting, it's using its massive understanding of patterns to create. Okay, this brings us to probably the most practical part of our whole chat. Now that we know what this thing is, how do we actually use it well? Because there's one big mistake that almost everyone makes when they first start, and it's the difference between getting totally frustrated and getting incredible results. And that mistake is treating it like a search engine. We are all so used to just typing short, kind of vague questions into a search bar, but if you do that with a generative AI, you're just going to get a vague, unhelpful response back. The AI is left guessing what you really want, and it has absolutely no real-world context to help it figure things out. And this is where the magic happens. Just look at the difference here. The vague question on the left, help me organize my room. What's an AI supposed to do with that, right? It's a dead end. But the detailed prompt on the right gives the AI 3 crucial things: a goal, some context, and a few constraints. Now it has something real to work with. Now it has a problem it can actually help you solve. So you see, these details are your superpower. Giving it specific problems to solve, like, I have a lot of board games but no shelves, that's the context. Stating your preferences, like, I want my desk near the window for light, that's the goal. And adding constraints, like, I don't want my messy bed to be the first thing people see, well, that tells it what to avoid. This is what transforms the AI from a simple tool into a really powerful collaborator. And that leads us to our final and maybe the most important idea. It's about a fundamental shift in how we think about our relationship with AI. It's not about giving it commands. It's about starting a conversation.
This right here is the key takeaway. Don't think of it as a machine you're ordering around. Instead, just imagine you're explaining a problem to an infinitely patient, incredibly knowledgeable friend who has read every book ever written, but has zero life experience. You're the one who has to provide that experience, that context.
So, let's put it all together. The secret to unlocking the real potential of AI is to stop treating it like a search engine. Stop giving it those short, vague commands. You've got to start giving it background, details, goals, and constraints. That is how you turn it from this confusing piece of tech into a true creative teammate.
And that's really the most exciting part. Once you move past the fear and just learn the language of collaboration, the possibilities are just endless. The question is no longer about what AI is going to do to us, but what we can now create with it. So, what will you create together?